this gets back to what we were talking about, setting monitor mixes for an artist. I mean, I think these are sort of basic things of like, you know, get in there and listen. This is why you should record your own vocal. I see your own comment there, testing. The reason to record your own vocal is so you know what a monitor mix should sound like, and go in and test everything. And you know, a big part of being a great vocal producer, mixer, anything is just preparation, knowing shit works. People were asking about, do you have rituals before an important session? I just make sure everything works and put myself in a good mood, but really making sure the monitor mix is good. That's a hugely important aspect.
Hugely important. Like one of the weirdest things. So when I bought my house a couple of years ago, there's a studio in the back and it has a whole booth. It was like meant like to be recording. And so I finally had like my own, it wasn't just we're all sitting on headphones. Like I had a booth and put it together. And one of the things I found out, and this is really still bizarre to me, but I found that latency, if I had somebody monitor direct through this Apogee Symphony and they were direct monitoring versus having them monitor through Pro Tools, just that little bit of latency changed performances, I would say 30–40%. Like the second, and I notice it when I play guitar, because I'll record a lot of my own guitar, that when I just cut out a little bit of the latency, how much better and the performance becomes. And I don't think that people realize what a big difference that is. So in your monitoring, making sure that somebody's comfortable, but look at something like that and fuck with being able to monitor something directly or monitoring through Pro Tools or Logic or whatever your DAW of choice is. It was not a small difference how much better people sang when they started monitoring directly versus monitoring through Pro Tools.
And a lot of artists, even, you know, once you get into the like veteran, they usually have their system kind of figured out. But even some veteran artists, they may not be able to exactly tell because they may just kind of be going with it and they're in a new spot and they trust you to try things. But all of a sudden there's a little bit of latency and you may not be able to tell if they're completely comfortable or exactly what's going on. You better be there listening to the headphone mix before they get in and making sure and actually running a pass and singing the song and exactly what it's going to be like for them. Because if you're hearing it in there and you're like, wait, there's just a smidge of latency, they may not notice it, but you're not going to get the best performance out of them. You really go listen. Listen, use your ears.
It comes down to, again, the most important thing is making sure the artist is comfortable. Like there's a reason why those are the people on the poster, you know? It's like you want to capture that magic that they have and basically take down as many barriers between that magic and the recording, you know?
That's a really good way to put it. Anything that might slow down the process or barriers, just have the water there. Have a stand if they want to put lyrics up. Have a good headphone mix already ready to go. Have a couple of reverb and delay options. Like be able to turn them on and off, like all that kind of stuff.
And the best way to do that is to do it, is to be on the other side, is to have the empathy, is to walk in those shoes. So you know what you like. Because the other thing is I found, believe it or not, it's the independent artists or the ones that don't have a lot of experience that are like, oh, can you take a little 4K out of the hi-hat while we're recording? And it's the people that have like done, you know, 10 billion records that, you know, the studio could be on fire and they're like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? They're the ones that tend to be the most durable. So like you want to make sure that they're okay. I don't know about your experience, but my experience is weirdly, the bigger the artist, the less the diva.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
100%. Because it turns out to be very successful means working consistently with a lot of people. I mean, most people that are successful are consistent. That's really what separates them. I think that's totally true.